Well, it was just over 8 years ago that we started doing the Mirror Word translation. Initially, it was a project where I felt strongly prompted to focus in on key and select portions of Scripture. But as time evolved, I realized that to tackle the complete New Testament would be the ultimate goal, because so much of these beautiful treasures that we've discovered, over the last 3 years since we've launched the Mirror in 2012, has brought fantastic feedback from around the world, and people are very keen to continue with the same vein of thought and the same conversation. So it's taken 8 years to do 1/3 of the New Testament, and I realized if we'd carry on at the current pace, it would take another 16 years at least to complete the new and select portions of the old even. And then over the last few months, especially this year, we felt strongly prompted, to disengage from all our other activities and completely focus in on tackling the Mirror New Testament and complete the project. And I realized when I counted all the verses, that if I do that, we could possibly complete the New Testament in the next 2.5 years. And it was so interesting, during our recent Mirror Safari on our way back, 6 of the gentlemen on our safari began to engage in conversation. And then the final day, right here in this garden, when we had our farewell dinner, they began to talk to me and shared with me excitedly their vision to establish a Mirror Word foundation, to make it possible for people around the world to participate in the completion of this project. And it's so significant that this conversation began on safari. And I realized how often, when we go on safari, we want to show people everything the first day. I mean, there's so much to see in our wonderful wildlife reserves. And the point is not just to see 1 or 2 of the great animals, but to really encounter with the whole ambience of the bush, and to see as much as possible. And to see a repeat lion or a repeat leopard is not a disappointment. It simply reinforces the joy. I remember when we had the privilege to bring Baxter Kruger out here last year. It was his first visit to South Africa, so we took Baxter Kruger to the Kruger Park, and he said, top of his bucket list is a giraffe. He wants to see a giraffe. And sure enough, we could guarantee him, that we'll show him a giraffe and much, much more. But the point I'm wanting to make was, once we've seen the giraffe and Baxter was all excited and taken his pictures of the giraffe, that was not the end of the journey. We didn't then pack up and go back home. The whole idea is to continue to engage, and in as many days as possible, to fully appreciate the beauty of what we have. And when it comes to Scripture, so often we have taken a few select portions of Scripture and indulged in that, and it's wonderful. But then to begin to see the pattern of God's thought interwoven in the tapestry of the language that God has spoken since the beginning. I so love the way John introduces us to the Word that was face to face with God, the Word that is I am, face to face with the Father, where there is no distraction. And so we are fully excited about engaging in the next few years in completing the entire New Testament, so that this language, this consistent tapestry, this rhythm of God's thought would be presented to the world in the most unique way. So we invite you to participate in this exciting project of the Mirror Word Foundation, and we know that you're going to be blessed in an amazing way in seeing with us this new adventure unfold, even in your own walk, as you begin to encounter Jesus in a very personal and a very tangible way as you study the Scriptures. God bless you.